Dear students, today we are going to start new chapters and relating to semiconductor devices. Already in the previous class we have analyzed regarding the germanium and silicon. The both elements acts as the intrinsic semiconductors, because this intrinsic semiconductor, somebody has asked a question like that, silicon and germanium both are the intrinsic semiconductor possessing atomic number is said to be, you can say, the atomic number of silicon is said to be 14 and the atomic number of germanium is 32. Accordingly, remember, germanium has 23 number of isotopes. It has 23 number of isotopes, because with respect to variation of number of neutrons, though the 14 are the number of electrons, it has 23 number of silicon has 23 number of isotopes and germanium has 5 isotopes. It has 5 isotopes. That relating that you remember, electronic configuration indicate of germanium, the silicon and germanium. It is a tetravalent element. It is also called a tetravalent element because of 4 number of electrons are the outermost orbit. I have already discussed regarding the intrinsic semiconductor, that is silicon and germanium, and what is the current flows, what is the current densities in these two type of intrinsic semiconductors. Another thing I told you, in intrinsic semiconductors are classified into two categories. The last class I told you, one is called intrinsic, which is called purest form, other is called extrinsic. These extrinsic semiconductor once again classified to two categories. One is called P type, then other is called N type. Already you have discussed up to yet. But you see now, remember, as per the discovery, after the discovery of silicon and germanium in 1824, J.J. Berzelius, and in 1886, Winkler of Germany, after that discover the maximum we are beneficial with respect to semiconductor industries. But remember, all our semiconductor industries will be developed after the invention of this step by step. That already been discussed. Today, remember, we are going to start those based on these semiconductors, not the intrinsic semiconductor. You remember, in intrinsic semiconductor, the current density is low. So the practical purposes, we are not using this intrinsic semiconductors. Wherever some doping agents or the impurities you are going to add to the intrinsic semiconductor, then become it is extrinsic. It indicates that it is totally pure form, it is called impure form. Now, what impurity you have to add here? The impurities either trivalent elements or pentavalent element we have to add. I told you that in atoms of silicon, 4 number of electrons are the outermost orbits. It has also 4 number of electrons. If suppose, for example, we have to add some element, we have to add some impurities from either from trivalent element or from the pentavalent elements, then the impure form of semiconductor are named as the P type and N type. P stands for positives, N stands for negative type of extrinsic semiconductor. Why you are going to not using intrinsic semiconductor? We are not used for it, or because the current density as per our required levels to design in practical networking we are not getting back. So that to develop the current densities, why not you intrinsic semiconductor, you know that the number of holes is equal to number of electrons. Hence remember, the current density is less. But in case of here, the extrinsic semiconductor, due to addition of impurity, may be trivalent element or pentavalent elements, then remember, we will get the current density up to our required level you can get back. In case of P type of semiconductor, in case of P type of extrinsic semiconductor, we are adding the which one? The trivalent elements. Remember, P stands for positive, so that remember it has majority of holes are there and minority of electrons are there. Let you remember, in P type of semiconductor, electrons are the minority carrier and holes are called the majority carrier. So maximum current density takes place due to holes here. Similarly, in N type semiconductor, when you are adding pentavalent elements, they possess possesses higher electrons. Because you know that germanium and silicon both have the 4 electrons in their valence electrons. They have the 4 electrons only. If the number of electrons those have, if you are adding the pentavalent elements to silicon or germanium, then becomes electrons are the majority carrier and holes are for the minority carrier in case of n-type semiconductor. Already mathematically I have analyzed with respect to their current density in p-type and n-type, and remember in that current density by utilizing for our various purposes. This already we have been discussed. But you see in the last schedule what you have done up to this p-type n-type we have discussed. Mathematically also have analyzed how can you get the current density, how much current density going to develop compared to intrinsic one, and that will be helpful for our practical purposes. Today remember, today the chapter is said to be p-n junction. What is a p-n junction exactly? You remember that. You remember technically is the fabrication of interfacing of two types of solids, and p-type and n-type. Technically fabricated of interfacing of the solids p-type and n-type, both are the extrinsic were combined. In p-type I told you already, holes, once again I am repeating, in p-type semiconductors, holes are called the majority carriers, more number of holes are there compared to electrons. In n-type of semiconductor, electrons are the majority carrier, holes are the minority carriers. Carrying the existence you can tell. Let us see, remember, for this remember what are the key points basically? You remember key points are that what is a p-n junction? You remember what is a, you have to these points we are going to discuss today now. What is a p-n junction? Then second things, how it is formed and how this p-n junction in between the junction layer is neutralizes, and what is the depletion layer? We have to discuss it today now. Depletion layer, and you can say we have to discuss third is called the barrier potential. Follow. Then remember barrier potential. This you have to use. Then fourth you have to remember the forward biasing of a p-n junction. Fifth I have to discuss today the reverse biasing of you can say that is called the p-n junction. These are our key points. According to our key points is concerned, you have to analyze one after another. Let us see one more thing here. Let us take a p-n junction. Just you can see this is let it call the p-n junction. Okay. This is up to this. Remember it is called p-type material. Okay. Up to this is called p-type of material. It is called n-type of material. The two extrinsic semiconductor are matched and technically interlaced there. Interlaced. After this one, remember just this p-n junction is creating in between a boundary line between p and n. This boundary is create a junction. Let this junction is there. This junction is creating at this point. I told you in p-type materials the holes are called the remember majority carrier. These are called the holes. Let you see the holes are called the vacancies. Let you see remember little bit number of electrons are there. Let remember this dot stands for electrons and this type of hole stands for positive carriers. Let us see remember we can say here the electrons are the majority carrier, let the dots are electron in n-type, whereas you remember only holes are called the minority carrier. Look at here. According to quantity or number we can say that you see these are the holes. How many holes are there? 9 holes are there. How many electrons are there? 2 or 3 or 4 I have done. Here similarly you see 9 number of electrons are there. And you can say only these are the holes. I can say how many holes are there? 2 or 3 holes are there. That indicates according to number we can say the holes are maximum here, electrons are minimum here, electrons are maximum here, holes are minimum here, just opposite to each other. Remember now, at this junction remember up to this boundary line, these electrons are very near. These holes are also nearer to the boundaries. So each and every electron has to goes towards the which one? Goes towards the holes. They have to move towards the holes. When the electrons move from this n region are near to the junction towards the p type of near to the hole, they have to occupy that one. What does it mean now? This region loses some electron. We know that some elements is going to loses their electron. What does it mean? It becomes positive charge carriers. Then remember, now if the number of electron losses from these regions towards the boundaries and going to occupy the holes, then automatically this part is going to neutralize. This part is going to neutralize. Look at here. this part become neutralized now, because one electron goes there. Then remember, this electron goes there to occupy this space. After occupying these holes, this layer, this part is wholly neutralized. This part is wholly neutralized. What does it mean now? When the electron losses from this region, it become positive charges. It become positive charges. Then when the electron is accepted by this one, it become negative charges. I already told you, deficiency of electrons indicates positive charge. Surplus of electron becomes negative charge. So look at here, at this boundary line up to this positive charges are there, up to this negative charges there. What happened now? There must be a formation of electric field. And within this layer, neutralization layer, you can see there must be a existence of a barrier potential. If remember, this distance is called d between these two neutralization regions, and we possessing an electric field of E, we can see that the voltage across this one is equal to, you can write down the voltage existence is equal to the electric field divided by the difference between this layer. So neutralizing layer. This is the depletion layer on which the whole electron pair neutralizes, and you can see that due to this loss of electron from this region and gain of electron to this region, this part become positive charges, this part become negative charges. So these positive charges and negative charges create a barrier potential. This barrier potential will be, remember, 0.3, or you can say barrier potential indicated by VB becomes 0.7. Look at here. 0.7 is the barrier potential. In case of, we can say, the material is the intrinsic is the doping agent. Let us see, remember, 0.7 volt for silicon. It is for, remember, germanium. So you remember that this 0.7 electron volt, this barrier potential 0.7 volt is for silicon, 0.3 volt the barrier potential for the germanium. Because if this made up by germanium with addition of either trivalent or a pentavalent elements, then if you remember, this barrier will be created to 0.3 volt for germanium. If it made by silicon, 0.7 volt for silicon it is created. Remember now, due to this barrier is created, you remember that it neutralizes number of electrons, occupies number of holes. After this neutralizes, remember now what happened to this region? This region is a difference, separation between these two type of material. As long as the whole electron pair is, remember, now the question arises, can these electrons move to here? No, because the maximum depth is here. Due to this depletion layer, more distance is there, electron never jump from here to here. Electron cannot jump to here to occupy this one. That requires more force is required. How can we this weight, remember? In case of this weight should be increasing. If then you can say it is very difficult to movement of electron from this layer to this layer. If this, remember, this layer or this depletion layer going to be certain, going to be short and short, automatically electrons can jump easily to this one and occupy. Then you can say neutralization is takes place completely. That remember, it offers the, if it becomes more weight is there, it offers high resistance. If it is less weight, then it possesses low resistance. Let us see which will be better for the conventional current to flow. Here one more, before going to get back the conventional current, you just remember here one more thing. On this depletion layer, you have to shorten it, you have to sort it, where it will be decreasing, so that the electrons can easily jump from the N region to P region to neutralizes. But that to sort this one easily not possible, because it creates a barrier potential. You see this one 0.3 volt for germanium, 0.7 volt for silicon. This will be created due to deficiency of electron from this region, and here the electrons are added, surplus of electron. Due to existence of positive and negative charges, in this side the positive charges, this side the negative charges are there. Due to this one, this electric field to overcome is very essential. To overcome this electric field or the barrier potential, you have to apply some voltage across these two terminals. Then whenever you are applying the voltage, that force must be more than this barrier potential. Then the conventional current will overcome this barrier potential, and then the current can flow. Then you see one more thing. These electrons move to here too. It remember, one electron occupying one hole. This neutralization created a diffusion current, which is, remember, the diffusion current means one electron diffused by another hole. This whole electron pair which remain be here neutralizes. That is called diffusion currents. But you see, to overcome this diffusion current, one more point is there for applying the external voltage. Let's show that. Remember, in these cases, to sort this depletion layer, what happened? Remember, you are getting this one. It is called the highest level. It is called the lowest level. What happened now? You can take it in such a way like that. Remember, the characteristics become like that. It is because it is called the positive all. In the boundary, it is positive, 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 negative, negative, negative. Higher potential, it is called lower potential. So that the VI characteristics will be like that. It is called the max. It is called the minimum. So remember, if you are going to take the voltage which versus you can say depletion, this is the depletion, you can take that the electric field. The electric field is equal to this barrier potential into this weight. Our motto is that how to utilize it for various semiconductor devices. So that for this purpose, what to do here, you just take it for this the depletion voltage is creating there, barrier potential creating 0.3 I told you, 0.7 I told you. Let us see, remember, these two polarities you have to take it. These two polarities are the conductive material. These two, what happen? You have to connect to the higher voltage source. Let's suppose I am connected like that. This is the positive with respect to negative. Now remember, you see this line is called positive now. This is called the holes are positive, mean deficiency of electron. Electrons are surplus of electrons are there. This is the negative polarity. Then what happened now? This positive polarity to this positive carrier will be repelled to each. They have to repel towards the inner because it's a higher field, lower field. They have to repel to this hole. This have to repel the electron. Automatically, this, remember, shorten. This will be, because weight will become slower, become less. As the weight will become slower, the resistance suffered by this layer is also least. Then easily the current can flow from p-type material, from p side to n-type. The current flows. That is called, you can say, it is called reverse biased. The positive terminal of the battery connected to p side and the negative terminal of battery connected to n side. That is called forward biasing. And it created a forward biased currents, and you can say whole electron pair gradually going to be neutralized. Another thing you remember here, if somebody will reverse this polarity, suppose you are connecting this p polarity to minus side, positive polarity connect to this side, what will happen? In that cases, remember I told you, like charges repel to each other, unlike charges attract to each other. There, remember, it is very difficult to overcome this barrier potential. Now this battery voltage must be greater than always this barrier potential. It must be greater than 0.3 volt or 0.7 volt. Must be depending upon by which material this is made of, either germanium or silicon. If not more than that, then it never pull to this hole, never pull to this electron to neutralizes, and the depletion layer must not be shortened. On these cases, you have to remember that in case of PN junction, when, remember, the outside of potential barrier on either side of the junction of the material still in neutral, so that we have to apply the voltage to get the fruitful of this result, and movement of the electron towards the hole and to hole of the PN junction will be neutralized and overcome this barrier potential. Then the current starts to flow. So remember now, PN junction is it is called now, if after applying this one, the forward biased current is created. Now remember, this forward biased current is nothing but drifting of an electron from this end to this end. The drift current will be created. Now remember, you can see the drift current and the diffusion current, the difference here. You remember, distinguish between diffusion current and you can say the conventional current and drift current, that you have to remember. Before applying this one, diffusion current created, then drifting of this electron to this side, movement of electron from this side to this side, create the drift velocity they have. Then remember that, always remember another thing, after applying the voltage, it will be forward biased. The forward biasing current flows from P side to N sides. Then remember, this flows takes place, and that is the conventional current going to take place. In these cases, remember, already I have told you, in case of PN junction diode is said to be forward biased. Just to see, whenever the applied voltage is more than the barrier potential, what will happen now? The potential barrier will be decreases and the depletion region varies, we going to be also decreases, and the junction offers very low resistance and the current flow just easily current can flow. But wherever this barrier potential you are applying, just remember like that. Suppose for example you are connecting like that. So negative is connected to P side, positive connected to this one, then the direction will be changed. It is positive, negative. What happened now? You see now the positive, the negative attract to each other. Here remember it will attract to here. They are called the negative, positive, negative, negative, positive. Automatically the depression layer is going on increasing and the barrier potential is going to be increased. Similarly, remember it offers a higher resistance than which is not practically useful. So what are the points I told you? You just go through this. What I told you, PN junction, remember, you have to the key points, you have to remember what key points are given, just to write down this assignment and you have to send me through my WhatsApp number. Assignment. What assignment? First remember, what is P? You have to write down what is PN junction. What is PN junction diode? PN junction. Then remember, write the short note of. Write the short note. Write the short note on depletion layer. Depletion layer. Second is barrier potential. Barrier potential. Then third write down forward biasing. Fourth you write down reverse biasing. Another thing you have to remember, distinguish between third assignment. Third assignment write down. Distinguish between the drift velocity, drift current, better write down. Then you write down what you call the diffusion current. Diffusion current. Then you can write down conventional current. Conventional current, they are short notes which are analyzing of PN junction diode. So now to remember, PN junction diode is operative when it will be forward biased, so that it will be unidirectional device and then its current can flow only from positive to negative, and in forward biasing that can be helpful to us, but in reverse biasing that does not occur. We can use it in voltage stabilizer, we are using in regulating circuit. Then remember, also next you can go through all the characteristics of this PN junction diode. Along this, the assignment what I have given you try to complete it and send me. If any doubts you are getting, you may ask by telephone call or send on the WhatsApp number and you have to discuss. Last class, remember, some students have been also given some response after revising the thermal emission chapter once again yesterday. That response was very good. And remember, like this, I am anticipating you have to respond all so that you will be beneficial of that. So take care of all. Thank you. Have a good day.